Okay, I want to welcome everyone. Right now, you're all muted. I just heard some background noise, but I want to apologize. June was a very hectic month, and I know we missed a meeting, but hopefully now we'll be back on schedule. And it's just good to see everybody, and I look forward to hearing your questions and also hearing how you're doing. So looks like somebody has their hand up. Jean, you have to unmute yourself and then.
Okay. Yeah, my question was about the oral medication for the chelation therapy.
Yeah.
What is it I have to order? I have to order it from Amazon, but I heard there was some controversy about it, and I wondered if that got settled and just what I should be ordering.
I'll tell you the one that I use. Just a second, and I'll get it so I make sure I have the right one.
Okay.
What I like is, I don't know if you can see it. It's the enhanced garlic EDTA. And the reason why I like it, it's somewhat of a natural product. I mean, garlic is excellent as a precursor to glutathione. And for those of you that are worried about bad breath, it's a deodorized garlic, so you're not going to get the garlic breath.
Okay.
So
All right,
I think it's a really good product, and that's the one I recommend. I'm not aware of any controversy concerning that.
Well, there was something on our visit with Crystal the other day, and she was talking about there was something had come up about it, and it was up in the air, and nobody really knew anything. So you think that one's all right? Okay.
It may have been the other product. It may have been the other product that was a concern.
Okay. Okay, that could be. And the other thing, I was wondering if anybody else was having any trouble getting into the Substack program. When I was wanting to listen to the one about people with AMD and the driving test, and I couldn't get into it. And I tried.
You have to be a subscriber to get into it.
But I am a subscriber, so I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get in.
You should be able to get into it without any trouble. I'll do some research on that.
Okay. All right. I'll keep trying, but I just couldn't get into it.
Jean Kingston.
Yes.
My wife is running the Substack, so
okay.
Jean Kingston. Somebody else had trouble getting in?
I did, Dr. Sue.
Sue
just tried today again.
Sue tried to get in and she couldn't get it. So
and
Anne, did you get? Oh, you're on mute, Anne.
I had a free subscription and I upgraded to a paid subscription, and it's still asking me to upgrade. And I tried to get into that same one that
okay, well, I'm glad I'm hearing that from all of you. We'll work.
Yes, that's what it's doing to me too. It's asking me to subscribe, and I've already subscribed.
It's trying to double dip, trying to get you to pay twice, huh?
I guess.
my patients are sharp. They're doing the brain program, and they're not going to be duped.
Right.
It seems like everybody. Yeah.
What's the last name so I can check?
Sue Gordon.
Gordon, and one more person, Ann McKay.
Ann McKay, right? Anybody else?
I'm sorry, I just joined in. What was the question?
Oh, some people are having trouble getting into Substack.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay, well, email the office and we'll see what's going on. It could just be a glitch. Anthony, did you have a question? You have to unmute.
My case has been getting worse from day one. I'm completely out of all the things you told me to take, the homeopathic, the pellets, and I didn't want to order them because I know you have said in the past that things should be reevaluated if nothing's working. I tried to make an appointment with you several times through Chris, but she won't make me an appointment because she says she doesn't know about this Dr. Martinelli. And I verified with his office. His office said that they've had contact with you.
Oh, no,
And-
no. I talk with Dr. Martinelli probably once a week.
Okay,
He's a
well,
personal
apparently
friend of
Chris
mine.
doesn't know. Apparently Chris doesn't know that, and she won't schedule me because I'm a little concerned continuing to take the same things. But I think, as he probably told you, my pressure was around 63 this time in the left eye, and in the good eye, it came down a couple notches because of the pellets, I guess. So I'm not sure if I should continue the same path. I mean, I was supposed to order Belladonna 4 and some more pellets, but maybe there's a stronger pellet or
Let me contact Chris.
okay. Okay.
And we'll get you on the schedule, but there was a miscommunication because I communicate with Dr. Martinelli. It's not that I turned your case over to Dr. Martinelli. I think that he's an excellent doctor.
Right.
That he's able to follow your pressure. But what I'd like to do is work together,
Right.
Dr. Martinelli and myself, so you get the best care.
Exactly. That's the way I understood it.
And for all of you out there listening, I want to work with your doctor, whether he's an alternative doctor or eye doctor, so we get the best for you.
The other thing I wanted to alert you at is that I've been getting pain daily on a regular basis now. And
Pain
sometimes,
in your eye?
yeah. And sometimes it just goes away. But there have been a couple times where I had to take the 800 milligrams of Advil to get rid of it. Because I don't know, you probably know as a doctor how intense that pain can get. And it just brings you to your knees. So those are some issues I wanted to address with you.
Yeah, well, let's get something scheduled and we can go over it in detail.
All right.
And
Can you
then,
talk to Chris about that so she can call me?
Yeah, I'm making a note of it right now.
Okay.
And we'll get you on the schedule. Okay?
Thank you.
But, Dr. Martinelli is a good guy and, I have a lot of confidence in him and I'm glad you're seeing him.
Oh, one last question. The pharmaceuticals haven't been working. So he kept me on the Repressa at night, but then he added another one. And ever since I started taking the other one, it's called Alphagan. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
I'm getting extreme fatigue from it.
Well, these are things that we got to talk about privately.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
So we'll work on that.
Okay.
But, generally speaking, I don't like the pharmaceutical products. That's why
Exactly.
we're here. But sometimes you need both. You need a pharmaceutical product and the best alternative.
Correct.
So, especially in your case, your pressure is 63, which, we consider anything over 20 to be high. 63 is, the pressure cooker's ready to blow off. Okay, Phyllis, you had a question there? You have to unmute.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I've started the suppositories and I'm wondering, it's best to do the oral chelation with the suppositories?
Yeah, that's, I think, the best method to do the chelation is a combination. That's what I do. I do a combination of the oral and the suppositories. I do the suppositories Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I do the oral every day. But here's the thing, you have to listen to your body. Some people are sensitive. And, if you develop a toxic reaction, a detox reaction, you know, fatigue or something happens, then you have to sort of reduce the schedule. But most people can tolerate that program.
Okay, well, I started getting headaches and then I just slowed down on how much I was taking and I'm doing better.
Yeah,
So,
well, you know, if you're getting headaches, that's a sign that you're detoxing. And so what I would recommend is cut back and also make sure you keep yourself well hydrated.
yes. So what are some of the reactions that you get from the chelation? Is tiredness and rashes and dizziness and headaches all
All
involved?
those things. I mean,
Okay,
any adverse symptom can be a reaction to the detox.
okay, all right. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Renee, how are you?
I'm doing well. As you know, I had my 6-month checkup 3 months after being on the program. All 4 of my eye conditions that they're following were stable. I'm about to get my first pair of glasses since I started all this. So in the past, the only thing I've had on my lenses is anti-glare. And I'm just wondering if there's anything else I need to consider at this point that I haven't in the past.
Well, you'd probably want to consult with your optometrist who's, you know, measuring you for the glasses and get some recommendation.
Okay, so you don't automatically say a certain tint if you have cataracts or dry
The only thing is I would recommend is that if you do spend a lot of time outdoors, you have trouble driving, you may want to get some type of you know, anti-glare. But I would consult with your optometrist about that.
Okay, and then
Depending, you know, depending on your activities and, you know, what you do.
yeah. So the other thing was even though there was no change in any of those conditions, with the vision refraction test, my left eye went in the last 6 months from 20/30 to 20/50. So I'm not used to I haven't had new glasses for 5 years, so I'm not used to these changes. Is that what would cause it, even though the other stuff stayed stable?
I'd have to look at your records.
Oh, okay.
But-
And then my last question was, yesterday, I don't usually have trouble with any kind of dryness or anything going on in my eyes, but yesterday when I woke up, it felt a little bit gritty or like there was lint or something in my right eye. I did the isonated drops throughout the day. It never seemed to really help that. And today it was slightly better when I got up, but not totally gone. Is there anything else I should do other than the ionized?
No,
I mean, ozonated. I'm sorry, ozonated.
I would just use the ozone, but if it's a new symptom, you need an eye exam. You know, if you
Okay.
were, yeah, you need to be examined to see, it could be an inflammation in your eye, it could be dry eyes, it could be another problem, but you need to get an eye exam and have the eye doctor send the records to me.
Okay.
And then we could talk about maybe changing one of your protocols or, you know, adding something else or your homeopathic remedy.
Okay, so if it should, I mean, because it was better today, if it totally disappears, should I still go for the eye exam or just
Well,
wait?
it could be nothing. It could just be, you know, something got into your eye or, you know, allergic reaction. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Elaine, hi, how are you? Oh, you need to turn your speaker on. Nope, I still can't hear you.
Oh, okay,
Nah, much better.
okay. I'm fighting COVID right now for 2 days, so I don't know what's gonna happen there, but the question I have is I can't find the notes on how much of that Himalayan salt you put into the water. Is that a pinch per glass or per gallon or?
No, that would be a pinch per gallon. You just want a small amount of the Himalayan salt.
Yeah. So I finally got one and because I had to send the first one back and this one is something I'm gonna start working with.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Oh, and we're working on your homeopathic remedy.
Okay, I am taking a little bit all over the counter for this COVID and it seems
Yeah.
to be a little better today.
Yeah, well, fortunately, the COVID now is very, very mild. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
kind of like the mild flu. It's not
I
as
was
serious.
very I was very weak yesterday with because it started on the 4th because I had company and they had COVID. So
Mhm,
the first day was really slow and tired and so forth, but today is much better.
mhm.
So it's
Yeah, the
it's
best thing now is just drink plenty of water and maybe some extra vitamin C, you know.
yes, and zinc I also take with that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good. Simone, hi, how are you? You need to unmute. Oh,
Okay, great. Hi, Dr.
okay.
Kondrot. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I had a couple of questions. When I had my last eye exam, my doctor said that I was experiencing, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's lacrimal gland disorder. Am I saying that correctly?
Yep, uh-huh.
Okay, so and I talked to Chris about it, and then she wrote back and said that you had some questions in regards to some of the symptoms that I was experiencing, and I did get back to her with that, and it's been a couple of weeks, so I didn't hear anything, but she wanted to know, she said that you wanted to know what symptoms I was experiencing. I was experiencing dry mouth every morning, dry eye and fatigue, red eyes and blurred vision. So my doctor, she didn't order, but she recommended some dry eye medication of some sort, but this is over the counter kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And like you, I, don't really like pharmaceuticals. So what I was asking is if there was some sort of something else that I could potentially address the dry eye with, or the
Well,
lacrimal gland disorder.
you're in the middle of the program, you're doing the microcurrent?
Yes, I am.
Well, one of the things I like is the ozonated saline. That's probably
Okay.
the best thing to use for dry eyes.
So is that something that like I can order online, or how does that
No,
work?
you have to make your own. I have a
Oh,
YouTube video on
okay.
how to make your own ozonated saline.
Okay, so that's on one of your videos. Okay.
And just maybe for other people that may not be familiar with the ozonated saline, ozone is a highly reactive form of oxygen. It helps regenerate tissue. And at the same time, for people that have dry eyes or corneal problems, it also is bactericidal, kills bacteria and viruses. A lot of times when you have dry eyes or a nasolacrimal disorder, it's caused by a minor infection. So not only will the ozonated saline help soothe the eye, it also helps regenerate the tissue and also fights a bacterial infection if you have it. But the only drawback with the ozonated saline, you have to make your own.
Okay.
And you invest in a ozone generator, which is probably under $100. It's like a little aquarium bubbler. And you bubble the ozone into saline, then you put it in a glass bottle and put it in your eye. So I have a YouTube video that explains that, but I love the ozonated saline, especially for people with dry eyes or inflammation in the eye. And also for people who might be taking glaucoma drops and having side effects.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Anthony, that may be something, the side effects from your Repressa and some of the
Okay.
other, use that.
All right. So the other thing that I was thinking when I was looking at all the symptoms, and then sometimes my head aches and sometimes it doesn't, whatever. But I was looking at estrogen syndrome. Does that sound like I should get checked out for that?
Well, Sjogren's is just really severe dry eyes, a dry mouth, and it's a decrease in secretions all over your body.
Okay.
So that is a possibility.
Okay. All right. So I should get checked to make sure that that's something like that isn't going on. And then the other thing is that when I have been doing my microcurrent therapy, I've been doing my homeopathic remedies, the Aquameds and all of that. So it came to a time when I finish with my therapy, or when I wake up in the morning, I mean, it's just blurred vision. And then it takes, as the day go on, it stops. So what I did, and I hope this is, not hurting anything, but I wanted to try to isolate why, I was having that. So at some point, heaven forbid, I stopped the microcurrent for a couple of days just to see, and then went to sleep and woke up, and I didn't have that same blurriness. And then, so I started back the microcurrent, but I stopped the Aquamed, and the same thing, happened. So I didn't know if some adjustments were needed or something, but it seems like as I'm doing all the therapy, when I wake up in the morning, my vision is blurred, but like I said, it works itself out during the day. But then when I don't do it, I don't have the blurred vision in the morning when I wake up. Any thoughts?
How long is it, the blurred vision last in the morning?
Probably maybe 30 minutes at top.
And when are you doing the microcurrent? You doing the microcurrent for your eye before you go to bed?
Okay, so at first I wasn't doing it, but then I started doing it before I went to bed, and then I stopped doing it, and I started doing it back earlier in the day when the blurred vision came. So I trying to experiment and change up with it.
Well, a short period of blurred vision, it may just be the body detoxing or healing.
Okay.
So, I don't think I'm that concerned with that, but maybe you're doing too much of the microcurrent.
I only do it once a day.
No, you're doing all the programs at once, or you're just doing one?
No, I can barely get in just 2 programs. I do my eyes, and then I do a detox. Sometimes, but I do my eyes every day, so I don't do.
Well, it's really important that you keep yourself well hydrated, drinking.
Yeah, well, that might be the case. I probably is not hydrated as I should be.
Because if you're dehydrated, then you will get headaches, blurred vision, because the microcurrent stimulating your body, it's detoxing.
Okay. Okay. Well, that might be something that I've been trying to.
I would ask you to do is just do the eye microcurrent.
Okay.
That's the only one, and see if that happens. If the same thing happens in the morning, and drink plenty of water before you go to bed.
Okay. And then one question, the Aquamed, I'm almost out of my first supply, and I didn't know do I need to reorder some more or just.
Yeah, the Aquamed is something you need to continue taking.
Okay.
So I would give Chris a call or just email the office. But it's important that you continue taking that.
Okay. And then the last thing, so it's time for my 3-month evaluation, and we've been trying to schedule it. I couldn't do it today. I mean, she was trying to schedule it earlier today, but I had something to do, but I can make this call. So that's what we need to do. We need to schedule the 3 months. So I don't know.
I would talk to Chris, and she'll get that scheduled.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, let's see here. Lois, I see your hand up.
Yes, hello, everyone. Hi, doctor. I have a couple questions related to several people have been talking about the whole dry eye thing. I'm experiencing that as well, but it seems like from my neck up, everything is super dry, nasal passages, my mouth. I remember hearing at one point that sometimes, is that possible to be related to your vagus nerve dysfunction or something like that? And I didn't know if then the brain protocol on the microcurrent might help that that situation.
Well, there's a lot of research being done with the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve controls the parasympathetic system.
Right.
It controls your gut and, the eye too. So I just got back from a meeting, and they were talking about how the vagus nerve can be related to dry eyes. There's some research on that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know if we talked about that, but stimulating the vagus nerve is a big nerve that goes down your neck.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, but basically, if you relax or stimulate the parasympathetic system, if the parasympathetic system is out of whack, that can cause dry eyes.
Okay.
So there was one study done that humming and singing can help with dry eye symptoms. Humming.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
And singing, that'll stimulate the vagus nerve.
Okay, my
And
next question. Okay, then my next question related to that in with using the ozone drops, could you also then like spray the ozone drops in your mouth or in your nasal passages? Would that help at all
not
with
really.
some of
You
the
have to be
dryness?
careful with ozone getting absorbed with the lungs. Ozone is toxic to the lungs.
Okay, okay,
So I
all
would
right.
not recommend spraying it into your nose or your mouth.
Okay, okay. Then my next question is too, I saw at the end of May, I saw my retina specialist, physician assistant, and then I had mentioned to you that my vision seemed to be getting worse and that I might need new glasses. So I saw my optometrist, and when I was at the retina specialist at the end of May, my vision was 20/50. But then when I went back to the optometrist, it's now 20/40. And then I was even able to read some things on the 20/30 line. And she told me that, it does fluctuate somewhat like that with the macular degeneration. But now they are also recommending, in the beginning, my retina specialist didn't recommend this, but now he's saying I probably should take a look at it. And the optometrist agrees, and that's having my cataracts removed, because they said it's hard to know how much of, some of the decline in the vision is related to the macular degeneration with the geographic atrophy and or the cataracts. So, and I know that, you're a proponent of, waiting as long as possible, but since I'm struggling with, my vision fluctuating so much, they said there's no guarantee, but, it might be worth taking a look at, at that. So I just wondered what your thoughts were on that.
I'd have to take a look at your records, but you just
Okay.
told me that your vision is fluctuating and at times it's 20/30, and that's good vision.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
it could be that the body's trying to heal and things are working in the right direction.
Right. And that was the thing too, when we had our talk several weeks ago, and you put me on a new homeopathic, for over a month, the flashing lights and all of that were really awful and driving me crazy. Finally, within the last 2 weeks, that is really subsiding. So I think that the homeopathic, is really, or something is really helping with that. And then my other question was, I go back and forth with taking the Acufolin because I am still struggling with it, like upsetting my stomach and giving me a slight headache. So I'm considering, getting the genetic testing for, there are some people with macular degeneration that are sensitive to zinc. And I'm just wondering if that could be part of my problem with, the Acufolin vitamins. So I didn't know, again, what your...
Years ago, we did the genetic testing, and it seems like everybody with macular degeneration has that genetic defect.
For not tolerating high doses of zinc?
Well, there's an allele that you have a problem with detoxifying.
Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'm seriously considering, I've talked to the company in Canada, and I'm seriously considering getting that done. But then my question would be, do you know if Acufolin is considering, if I do have the zinc issue, is Acufolin considering making a supplement that doesn't have zinc in it or with lower zinc?
Well, the Acufolin has a very low dose of zinc. It's not very
No,
high.
it has 80 milligrams.
Well, that's low. Not
80?
all of it's absorbed.
Okay. All right. All right.
So just because it's 80 milligrams doesn't mean that most of it. Did you do the zinc tally test?
Yes, I did, and I'm
The
fine.
taste test?
Yes, I did, and I'm fine. I had no issues. I'm not deficient in zinc. And when I've had blood work, I haven't been deficient either.
Well, I would get the genetic testing and let's see what that shows.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
We'll see. And there's a Zoom user, but there's no name. There's a couple there, a gentleman and his wife. There's no name there. Yeah, whoever raised your hand, the lady raised her hand.
Tyra?
You have to unmute yourself. The lady with the white cap. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself. There's no name on your computer, so I can't call you. Here, I'm asking to unmute. I'm clicking unmute and it's not,
Can you hear me?
yeah, now we hear you. Who, I don't see your.
I'm Janet Caswell.
All right, yeah.
Okay. All right. My first question has to do with, I was referred to you by a holistic doctor here in Atlanta who does ozone. And he has given me ozone injections, around the eyes, 1, 2, 3. He also, and I didn't do it for a long time while I was getting set up in your program, because I wanted to kind of see how that worked before I went back to Dr. Madelone. But now my question is, do you think that's beneficial to me to continue that ozone treatment? Also, he has prescribed, and I had Compound Pharmacy make drops, DMSO. Are you familiar?
Yeah, I'm
DMSO.
familiar.
But I have one eye that I had had cataract surgery. He told me no need to do them into that eye, just to do in the other eye, which is.
Well, I used to use the DMSO product for cataracts, but it became expensive, and I think that the Oclumed is a much better product. It has a longer shelf life and a lower cost, and it seems to be more effective than the DMSO. Now, the
Where do I
ozone,
get Oclumed?
well, you can buy it online, Oclumed, or call Chris. She can give you the information. Oclumed.
Oclumed.
Just Google Oclumed and the store will come up.
Okay.
Also, the injections, I don't really, I used to do them. I just don't think they have any value around the eye.
Okay.
I would recommend either, auricular ozone or rectal insufflation. A lot of my patients are doing that.
Okay, say that one more time because I've got to write it down.
Okay, it's rectal insufflation. Well, there's 3 different ways of doing ozone. One is IV. It's called
I've done
major
that.
autohemotherapy. Yeah, but that can
I've done
be
that.
expensive, and you have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I have the philosophy I like to empower my patients so you can do these treatments on your own. So you can buy an inexpensive ozone generator, and you make your own ozone, and you can do rectal insufflation. You put it in a bag and inflate it rectally. That's one way of doing it. The second way is auricular. You get a stethoscope and you get a bag of ozone and it goes into your ears. So there's 2 methods. I have 2 YouTube videos on that. And, during the COVID epidemic, that was years ago when it was really bad, I was doing auricular and the rectal insufflation. So many of my patients do that.
Ask him to spell that. I'll write Chris.
Auricular is just the ear, AURICULAR, auricular. It just means ozone in the ear. You get a silicone stethoscope and hook it up to the bag of ozone, and there's 2 methods of doing it. I think the rectal insufflation is more effective than the auricular. But some people have a difficulty doing the rectal, either because of positioning or maybe rectal fissures or hemorrhoids or things like that. But both can be very, very effective. And I have, I should probably show all of you. I'm going to do a screen share here, and I'll take you to my webpage where you can see all of this, get all this information I'm talking about, okay? So let me do a screen share here. All right. Okay, can you see the screen?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, go right here. It's not here. Oh, here. Oh, I think I have to. There should be something right here. Are you new to the program? Unless it's loading here. Hmm. Let's see. Oh, we got to do a problem with the website. Oh, here. Are you new to the program? But anyway, right down here, common therapies used by Dr. Kondrot. And I can send this link to all of you. So when you get a recording of this meeting, I'll have this link and you can just click it. Common therapy. So ozone treatments, 3 method. The ozone eye drop, there's a YouTube, rectal insufflation, auricular. And there's also 2 on chelation therapy.
Doctor, is there a particular ozone machine that you recommend for like the rectal insufflation?
Yeah, there is one. There's a website, I think Simply 03.
Okay.
Simply 03, right here. It's a very, let's see, there's a unit here that is for home use.
Okay.
And I think they have, yeah, these are the professional units, but let me see. Home generators. Yeah. See this one here? The Stratus 03. This is the one that I have. This is the one that I use. So this is the one that we recommended. But I'm kind of shocked. The price has gone up. It used to be $900. Now it's $1,200. But this is all you need right here.
Okay.
And then what you do is you do need to use when you're making the ozone eye drops, you don't need a tank of oxygen. When you're making the ozone eye drops, it uses ambient air. But when you're making ozone for rectal insufflation or auricular, you do need to buy a tank of oxygen. And that should not be an issue, buying a tank of oxygen. There's a company called Air Gas. They're located in every state. You don't need a doctor's prescription. When I was in California here, and California is probably the most regulated state in the country, I walked into an Air Gas store, didn't even show my driver's license. I said, I'd like a tank of oxygen, and they sold it to me.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Simply 03. But I'll send a link for those videos on ozone. So you can look at those.
That's what Jenna has.
Okay. Looking here if there's other questions. Oh, Barbara, I see your hand up. You have to unmute.
Okay.
All right.
I'm still getting blurry vision and I'm following the protocol and using the new homeopathic you sent. I don't know if this is part of the treatment or whatever, but it's hard to read.
So when did you start the new homeopathic remedy?
About a week and a half ago.
Well, usually we like you to use the remedy for at least a month. So I'd give it a month, and if you still have the blurred vision, then we got to set up a time to review your case.
Is it possible that I can take the remedy at night instead of in the morning?
Yeah, you can take the remedy anytime during the day,
Okay,
but I would just consistently take it the same time. You're supposed to take it once a day, so that would be once every 24 hours.
okay,
So, first of all, if the remedy keeps you awake or gives you energy, you don't want to take it before you go to bed. You probably want to take it in the morning. Everybody's different.
right. But I notice that I get blurrier after I take the remedy. I was thinking of taking it at night or
Well,
when
if
I need to read.
is the blurred vision temporary?
No, constant.
Well, then in that case, I would stop the remedy, and then we got to set up a time. The homeopathic remedy should not blur your vision.
Okay,
Yeah, it's supposed to improve your vision. Are you having any other reaction with the homeopathic remedy?
no,
Yeah, well, contact Chris and we'll set up a time.
okay,
I mean,
Thank you.
sometimes with the homeopathic remedy, you do get an aggravation, but usually the aggravation is short-lived. And of course, if you're under my care, the one aggravation I don't want is blurred vision. You're in the program to get an improvement of your vision, not to make it blurred.
okay,
But sometimes when you take a homeopathic remedy, you may get a skin rash, you may get an aggravation of another problem, but usually it's short-lived.
okay.
So I would stop the remedy, and then we can set up a time to go over some of that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Sue, I see your hand up.
Hi, I was wondering, I was gonna try my microcurrent in bed at night and just fall to sleep with it like that, but I have a grounding mattress cover and a sheet. Is that okay?
I don't think it'll cause a problem.
Okay. I noticed on Facebook, there's this site talking about lead strips that you can get, test strips for lead. Are those effective, or they just
I'm
ordered them
not
on?
aware of that. The only
Okay.
really way of accurately measuring lead, as far as I'm concerned, is the urine challenge test.
Well, they were testing, this one person had a Yeti cup that they tested and it had lead in it. So it's more for products, I guess.
Oh, okay. I thought it was for testing inside your body.
No,
I'm not
I never
aware of
heard.
that, but yeah, I'm sure that there's ways of testing lead.
Okay, I was kind of curious about trying sunning. Do you have a video that explains it good, and also do you take your contacts out for sure when you do that in the morning?
If you get my book, The 10 Essentials to Save Your Sight, there's a chapter on
Okay,
sunning.
okay,
But just briefly, sunning is when the sun is low on the horizon, when it has the red tone, that's the red infrared. And what
right,
you do is you sit comfortably, close your eyes. It doesn't matter if you have your contact lenses, and it's probably better if you have the contact lenses out of your eyes. And you
okay,
just turn your head back and forth, and you want to see the image of your sun, image of the sun going across your eye. You'll see the image on your retina. But you do the
So
sunning with your eyelids closed, not open.
so first thing when it's coming up, and then sunset at night too?
Yeah, because that's the red infrared you want. When the sun is high in the horizon, it's more of the blue ultraviolet.
Okay, I just wanted to mention if anyone's struggling with the washcloths, because I started itching from the leads again. So I remembered someone talking about an ACE bandage, and it works really well. The long stretchy, and it wraps around, and then you can tuck it in. So if anyone's still struggling with that, I just started doing that yesterday. And it actually works really well. Doesn't get you so wet because you can wrap it around a couple times your tummy, and if you don't have a pocket, you could even stick the microcurrent box in the bandage good, and I think it holds it really well.
What about considering the microcurrent pads? The microcurrent
leads?
pads, yeah.
I've tried two different kind. The second kind, I was doing good for 2-3 weeks, and then I just started getting all broke out again. So that just happened this past week. So I'm kind of back to the washcloths again.
But that's a good idea with the ACE bandage to wrap it.
Yeah. I guess that's all I had for today. I'm waiting for my Azure standard food delivery to come this next week, Renee.
Yeah, keep
Trying
us
that out.
posted.
Excited to see it.
Thank you for signing up. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Good.
Okay, Julia.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Doctor. Real quick for Sue, if you look up on Instagram, Eric Everything Led, Eric with a C, Everything Led. He reviews the different test kits for lead and talks about why some work well and some don't. And he has some recommendations for us for testing our cups and our dishes. And I actually had to get rid of some of my dishes because they tested positive.
I've been trying to follow that Lead Safe Mama that Lois told us about. And
yeah,
I did change my salt because the Himalayan salt I had tested really high. So I had to get just this little tub of white salt again that was like no lead or something. So even healthy products that we think are good are testing high.
Right. And just real quick, I'll jump in. Lead Safe Mama also has either a post on her blog or a video where she tried some of the lead test strips, and they're not particularly accurate, but this Eric sounds like he might be a better guy to follow.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
for
it's
that.
his profession. Yeah, to find lead. I found it very helpful along with Lead Safe Mama. And then another thing, I don't know if you guys have discussed this when I've been absent, but I still enjoy wearing makeup once in a while. And I just wanted to share that Environmental Working Group is a really good source for finding clean products that don't have lead and other heavy metals in them. Environmental Working Group. They have an app, but you don't have to download the app if you don't want to. Just get on their website and you can search your own makeup that you have to check it out. Or if you need to buy a new product, they list the clean ones and you can order through them or go to Amazon and order the clean products. And then for Doc, could you review for me the distance that you want us from our light source for the color therapy?
It's recommended about 5 feet.
5 feet. Okay, I'm too close. All right. Thank
Because
you.
you just want a low illumination. You don't want to get it really bright.
Okay.
Oh, also, those of you that do find a good lead test kit, maybe share it with me so I could post it to the group.
Okay.
Seems
I have one that I could share if you would like me to share it now.
Yeah, if you could put it in chat.
Just take me a second.
Type it in chat.
Okay, will do.
Okay, I think Jennifer, is your hand up? I can't see you.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Kondrot.
Yeah, hi.
I have some interesting or new information. Well, not so much new, but for reasons, a member of my family just got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and in helping her, I was doing some research because I had learned through a gentleman named Doug Kaufman. Doug Kaufman has a program called Know the Cause, and that's the name of his website, Know the Cause. He's a self-care advocate, and he talks about mold a lot, and mold being a contributor to at least 37 different cancers. And so in helping my great aunt at the moment, I was researching stuff because, as I shared with you, Dr. Kondrot, I tested positive for mold a year ago, ochratoxin A, which is a carcinogenic. And I've been trying to figure out where the source is and how do I address it and, you know, get rid of it and stuff. Anyway, one of the things that came up in my research this week on mold for her was that if you have pain behind your eye, it can very likely be caused by mold. And I didn't know if you had heard anything about that before. And if so, I was wondering if ozone drops might be helpful then to kind of kill the mold if it's part of the problem contributing to my eye issues.
Well, there's many, many reasons to have pain behind your eyes, and I'm sure mold can be one of them. But in my experience, it would be pretty low on the list of causes. You know, I see patients every day that have pain in their eyes, but they don't have problems with mold.
I know, but I where I have this test positive, I was just wondering, and I was wondering if ozone might be an option to try. I also didn't know if ozone would kind of unclog the trabecular meshwork as well. Assuming because no one really has a good understanding. I don't. You know, there's so many variables, right? And when your eye pressure is up, you could be producing more aqueous humor. You could also have the drain clogged, which is the trabecular meshwork. So I'm wondering, I have mold. Could it be affecting causing me some of the tension around the eyes and pain behind the eyes? Could it also be clogging up the trabecular meshwork? Would it be worth trying ozone eye drops to see if it makes a difference?
Well, usually I don't recommend ozone eye drops for glaucoma as a treatment because very little of the ozone is actually penetrated into the eye, and I have not seen any glaucoma patients have a lowering of their pressure. The ozone eye drops are very effective for dry eyes or eye irritation. Now, the rectal insufflation or auricular, the ozone will get into your body, and ozone is known to kill bacteria and viruses. I don't know how effective ozone is against mold. I'm not aware of ozone being a treatment for mold, but I'm sure it will reduce some of the side effects or toxicity of mold. But as you know, in your research, there are many, many different types of mold. It's not just, you know, one type. Some of the molds are more aggressive. Some of the molds cause more pathology. So.
Yeah. Well, I know Dr. Gordon, who's the integrative doctor I've worked with over the years. He currently does ozone intravenously. He does saline ozone, and he does ozone where he mixes it with your blood and then puts it through a UV light to read and then, you know, returns it to your body after. And he's been using that as a mold treatment. It's helped, I guess, a number of people. I've talked to some of the patients. I was just wondering if it could be anything related to any of the eye issues, and you know, and
no, I agree. The intravenous ozone, either with saline, mixed with blood, auricular, or rectal, is very beneficial for glaucoma and macular degeneration. But I don't have any experience with it being an effective treatment for mold.
For mold, okay. Okay, thank you.
But I think that it's certainly not going to cause any harm, you know, but I'm not aware of any studies that show that ozone will open up the trabecular meshwork in glaucoma. So for those of you that may not be familiar with glaucoma, there's two theories. One, it's an increase in aqueous production or a blockage of the trabecular meshwork. That most of the theories are that it is a blockage of the trabecular meshwork, either due to sclerosis or accumulation of toxins or, you know, other factors. But also with glaucoma, the main part of the glaucoma disease is the optic nerve. So whatever we can do to improve the health of the optic nerve. So one way is to lower the pressure. The other way is to improve the health of the optic nerve. So most of the treatments that I recommend for glaucoma are treatments that improve the health of the optic nerve, like microcurrent, light therapy, good nutrition, detox, all these things. So thank you for sending me the lead test. We have that here. And what I'm going to do is I'll send that to as part of the link. There's two here. There's one test kit for dishware, fluorospec, and the other one is detectlead.com. Is that the same test or is it the fluorospec? Julia, there's two here. There's one detect lead. I guess that's the one.
I think Mark shared a website where you can get the fluorospec test kit. I believe that was his intent. That was helpful. Yeah.
Okay, the detect lead. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ann, last question because we're coming to the close of the hour.
Okay, my optometrist suggested I take MacuHealth, and he said to double the dose listed on the label, and I wanted to know what your thoughts were about that.
My experience, the Ocufolin is the best. You have to be careful with a lot of these other products. I think people are overutilizing vitamins. And right now you have to really question the manufacturing process, where the vitamins come from, and the concern with lead. The company I dealt with for many, many years, I got a notification that there were traces of lead in the vitamin mixture. That's why I stopped using them.
Okay, and I have one other question related to the ozone and the saline solution.
Mhm.
It's 250 milliliter bag. I'm wondering if I could get a 500 because I'm using it for 2 or 3 of us here, and I'm going through it a lot.
You'd have to talk to Chris about that, but remember, you can re-ozonate it. So whatever ozone is left, you can put it back in and re-ozonate it. You don't have to throw it away.
Yeah, I have been, but I'm using it several times a day myself, plus my husband several times a day. It seems to be, I'm using a lot of it. I feel like I am.
Yeah, talk to Chris. I'm sure we have a 500 milliliter bag.
Okay, that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, listen, thanks everybody for joining the meeting, and we'll be getting together the third Saturday in July. And I'll be sending everybody a recording along with information on the lead test kit.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Thanks.